about 7 years of fights and laughter, secrets, cheesecake.
As season 7 wound down, spirits were low on the set of The Golden Girls. Ratings were down, and the girls were about to break up. B. Arthur was given a special send-off to end the season.
We wanted to do something nice for Dorothy. You know, of all the characters, Dorothy seemed to get, you know, the most of life's curveballs thrown at her over the life of the series. You know, and Stan, her first husband, was such a loser, and we thought it would be a nice thing to have Dorothy marry a nice guy.
Dorothy was always the one that lost the most in love, and also, you know, from a completely selfish creative point of view, we had Sophia and all that to deal with, mother and daughter marriage and all of that, so it just made a lot of sense to write to that.
To switch from Golden Girl to Blushing Bride, Dorothy needed to find a Mr. Right.
You know, we really didn't audition anybody. Once someone said Leslie Nielsen, and we found out that Leslie wanted to do the show and was available, it was like, great. Good-looking guy, we know he's funny, why not?
I was pleased that they would think to select me to do the final episode of Golden Girls with B. Arthur and the rest of them.
Leslie Nielsen was cast as Blanche's Uncle Lucas, who visits his niece in Miami and falls in love with Dorothy.
She was my girlfriend. She was my lady. We ended up getting married.
How was the sex?
So good we named it!
Whenever he goes to work, Leslie Nielsen is notorious for bringing along his favorite prop, a whoopee cushion. Nielsen knew the mood on the Golden Girls set would be emotional, so he wasn't sure his penchant for practical jokes was appropriate.
It was a great temptation. I had to make a choice because it was the last show, it was a wedding ceremony, it was B. Arthur and everybody else, and it made no difference to me.
Oh, he's such a bore. I really mean it. I mean, that gorgeous man. How idiotic this is.
Oh, dear me.
He felt it was his duty to add as much sophisticated wit to what we were doing as possible. Leslie Nielsen is one of the truly funny men. I mean, his entire career is
Riddled with laughter.
I mean, he's big-time funny, on and behind the camera.
Leslie Nielsen's antics provided some comic relief, but those last few days were tough.
I promised myself I wasn't going to cry. I'm going to laugh instead.
The last week of Golden Girls, actually thinking about it, was fairly emotional. Knowing that B. Arthur was leaving, knowing that the show was not going to be the same, and not really sure what it was going to be.
Oh, well, that was pretty, it was very sad. I mean, even though I wanted out, you know, the reality of leaving, except, of course, I married gorgeous Leslie Nielsen. That was my way out. But it was very sad.
On April 26, 1992, Dorothy and Lucas walked down the aisle and said their I-dos. There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
It was very easy to cry at the time when we were supposed to cry there at the end. I mean, there was no problem crying. When B comes back into the house and then leaves again.
Oh, God, I love you.
I found it just devastating.
Difficult. It was very difficult. And when you know that this is the last time we're doing this is the last time we'll be here, this couch is going away, and those things. But by that time, the three of us, Estelle and Ruzi and I, knew that we were going to go on into Golden Palace.
The three remaining Golden Girls were not ready to call it quits. So the producers came up with a new angle for the old cast.
Susan Harris, again, who created the show, came to us, and we were all going to just move on. She came to us with an idea that she had that she thought would be very valid.
The producers felt that the whole premise of the women living together wouldn't have maintained itself without B. Arthur. So they created a new show called The Golden Palace.
The storyline behind the Golden Palace is that Blanche sells the house and buys an old hotel downtown. And they all go into business at the Golden Palace Hotel.
These ladies who have been in their nice, comfortable, safe little nest go out and confront the world that comes through the front door of the hotel. And all of a sudden we got interested because it was, theoretically, it was a good change and a good chance to go out and explore.
The girls found a new home without B. Arthur, but the Golden Palace was headed for a different address.
They took that concept to NBC, and NBC said, we'll order 13 episodes. CBS counter-offered, and they ordered a full season's worth of episodes.
We had great pride and a great sense of how outstanding Golden Girls was. The notion that we would do something that was a shadow of its former self just wasn't of interest to us.
Our deal was up at NBC, and at that point the ratings weren't what they had been the first several years. I don't know that the show got old, but audiences move on.
I can't believe it. I mean, we've spent so many wonderful years in this house, and now we're moving. Hey!
After 7 successful years, the Golden Girls moved away from home. CBS execs wanted the Golden Palace to be more than a reformulated version of the Golden Girls. The network even changed the time slot to Friday nights at 8.
I think CBS wanted something a little bit different in that they weren't taking a show that was 7 years old. This was going to be hopefully new enough and different enough that we would have another 7 years.
We're here.
When the Golden Palace premiered on September 18th, 1992, the network hoped the former Golden Girls would bring in a new audience.
They expressed their needs. We tried to fulfill their needs. One of the things that we had in Golden Palace, there was a kid, a young kid on the show who lived in the hotel because they were hoping for a younger demographic.
Don Cheadle came in to play the manager of the hotel, and Cheech Marine came in to play the chef. So we had 2 men, 2 very, very talented men, and the 3 girls.
You know, I was just saying to someone how much I was looking forward to meeting you, and look at you. I mean, they told me the new owners were gorgeous, but I had no...
Look, I'm the chef here, and everything you've heard about angry Mexican chefs is true. So run from me as fast as your legs will take you.
But the Golden Palace just didn't have the same spirit. The chemistry was gone.
There was something about them not being in the house anymore, not being the same dynamic anymore, that was different. So even though same writers, almost all the same actors, it was different.
I guess the ping may have gone out of the out of the writing, and that's the best way I can express it. It just didn't have the same charm. It had to be manufactured a little more.
And if they got in a bind, they would fall back on some of the insurance jokes of it became Golden Girls in the lobby without B, and it just doesn't work. It's like taking a leg off a table. Table doesn't balance if you take a leg off of it, you know.
Oh, I wish Dorothy were here.
Oh, honey, I'm afraid even she couldn't help us out of this.
No, but she could beat the crap out of you.
After 1 season on CBS, the Golden Palace went out of business.
I think everybody was ready to go home. We had given it our best shot. It wasn't unpleasant. Nobody was acting up or angry or frustrated particularly. We had done good work, all of us together, and we were very proud of that work. But when the decision came down, it certainly wasn't, I don't think it was a surprise to anybody.
It just didn't work, and I don't think it could have worked. I just think people didn't want to adjust their vision of the show. They loved the show that they'd seen, and they didn't want, and I think in a way, for a short period, for a certain period of time, it sullied the memory of Golden Girls being as good as it was.
Do you know what it's like to be totally ignored?
But the bad memories did not last long. A whole new generation was about to meet the 4 ladies from Miami.